Cougar's got a lot of really cool cases here at Computex, and one of which is the FV270 RGB. This case actually is already launched, which is super exciting to actually already see it on the market, and I'm going to try to get my hands on it. The reason for this is basically what they did that's unique is instead of going for the traditional kind of fishbowl aesthetic that everybody's doing, they decided that instead of just making it have like a one glass panel, on the side, one on the front, and have it as a showcase system, they actually angled the front. It almost kind of is like in the shape of a bullet where it kind of comes together. And why I really like this is, one, it gives you kind of this unique rounded aesthetic, as well as they actually did this for performance reasons. As they discussed, is basically, as they were able to do this, they were able to actually tilt the side intake fans enough where this should actually help with the airflow getting into your system. And because of the angle, it should make it less turbulent than if it was hitting a hard surface on the side. Also, what's something that is really cool about this case is that you got two different options when it comes to your front fan. Because on top of the actual side fans here, they also lifted up the front just a little bit. This allows for you either to install a 120mm fan up front, or this really cool like turnstile table that's electronic, which allows you to kind of showcase something inside your build, which is super unique and you don't see that pretty much anywhere else. There's also some other cases like the Airface Eco RGB. This is a case I'm actually pretty interested in because they kind of made it in a very similar style to something like the Mac Pro. Basically that same cheese grater design for the air intake. They wanted to focus on getting as much air as possible while still kind of having a front panel and not just having it completely open. Why they did it in this particular shape though, they said that basically by the kind of a cone shape that they made, they're able to increase the amount of air getting through the system. They said that basically it should help with the amount of air going through. And what I do appreciate with the system is they do have a couple things. First off, the dust filter's got a nice little pull tab, making it super convenient to see the two front 180mm fans. These look really nice. There's also some other cool things about the case, including that the actual front I/O can either be put up top or it can be moved to the side. Definitely a really cool options to see here from Cougar at Computex. They also have an update to their MX600 lineup. This is the MX600 Mini. Basically, it takes all of the great, goodness of the MX600, which is super popular, due to the fact that basically it's got tons of ventilation on all four sides, or all 5 or 6 sides that this case has. There's a ventilation everywhere. And what's really cool about that is basically you're gonna get ventilation up front, on top, on the back, and you can also get it on the back panel as well. They basically optimize this for airflow. And they are also talking about their choice of design when it comes to their front panel. Instead of basically doing like a circle design, they found that basically by doing a square, they can optimize the amount of surface area where the air is penetrating, which should result in better cooling performance. This basically also ships with two 160mm fans up front, which move a ton of air, and I'm super excited to get my hands on this when it's available. And then on the budget side, they also have their MX600 RGB, which is basically a cut down version of these other ones. But they didn't skimp on some of the features, including how the front panel attaches. And I really appreciate this because it's magnetic and it just pops right off like that, allowing you to easily clean basically your front dust filter that's kind of built into this and access the installation of your front fans. Definitely something I appreciate as somebody that works on computers all day, and it definitely is a pretty nice looking case. Another case that Cougar is showing off is the FV150. This is a traditional fishbowl style case, but it's gonna be budget focused. So it should be very price competitive to a lot of other case manufacturers out there on the market, and I'm all for it. So I'm excited for this one. It is in pink here, but it will be in black and white when it's finally released. And then Cougar also has some cooling products, two of which I'm really excited about. They have introduced basically their daisy chainable fan assemblies. They have their SC140s, which are gonna be like their more premium looking fans. They're gonna have infinity mirrors on the side. And then they have what they're calling their like higher performance fans, which are their apolar 120 ARGB fans. And they basically latch together with a physical latch. They're not magnetic or anything, but it is nice to see another contender out there. Looks like it's a single like 4-pin latch on the side, so it shouldn't be anything too complicated. And I'm all for it. Another product coming onto the market and adds more competitiveness and should hopefully drop price on these daisy chainable fans.